it going? I never know if this thing's going. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. I was going to give you guys my Tuesday 2-minute tip. This might be a little longer, but I just finished a session with a client and I just felt like I needed to kind of come on here and share it with you guys because it's something that I don't have a ton of knowledge of, but I know that it's a very common issue, which is constipation. What we know also, and if y'all are here, say hi. I have a really hard time seeing on here. What we know is that when the nervous system is constantly stressed, like we have been over the last 6 to 8 months, the bowels don't like to do their job. Our body's in that constant sympathetic nervous system response, which is a fight, flight, or flee, or freeze, I guess is the other one, as opposed to the parasympathetic, which is your rest and digest. So a lot of times we'll start with just acknowledging what the stressors are, and we'll talk through that, because a lot of times if you can kind of tap into that nervous system and work on some breathing and some meditation, guided imagery, just things that kind of tone down that system, it will really, really help there. There's some bowel massages I teach, so I think we'll go through that really quick. Let's see if you can see me. You're going to see my belly. So I'm going to tuck this in. If you are looking at me, this is my right, this is my left, so it's going to be backwards. You can do an I love you, so an up, over, a down, and kind of a big circle. So if I'm looking down at my belly, it's a clockwise motion. And you can just do that for a couple minutes. You can do it with your breathing. You can also find that hip bone, go up, find your pubic bone, go up, find your other hip bone and go up, and do that maybe 3 to 5 times in the morning and at night. What that does, it stimulates that part of the nervous system that can give you that rest and digest activity. The vagus nerve is deep in your belly. It comes from the back of your skull and goes all the way down. So essentially what we're trying to do is 1, kind of massage the bowels, but 2 is stimulate that nerve a little bit. So those are the 2 quick tricks, is breathing and then the soft tissue or kind of like colon massage. I'm going to spin you around. Let me unplug you. Can you see my board? This is always hard for me to do. Not very well. All right. I wish I could figure this out. Oh yeah, there it is. I'm holding my computer where I don't want to be in it. Can y'all see that? And it's tiny on my screen. So the first one is movement. Movement, same thing as what we talked about with the massage, gets the butt, not the butt, gets your butt moving, yes, but can give that gut that little jump start. And toileting is number 2. So if you do not have a regular bowel routine, like, oh man, I go every single morning, I go every single night, that can sometimes be an issue. So what we recommend, I don't know if you could see on there, is drink a little bit of water, so like 4 to 6 ounces, and eat something crunchy where you're getting your mouth moving, your jaw, your saliva, that signal to your gut that, hey, food is coming, let's move stuff out of the way so that we can put more food in. Do a couple breaths, go and sit on that potty. We don't recommend sitting more than 5 or 10 minutes. When you do sit on the potty, have your knees above your hips. So you're using either a bench or a squatty potty or a little step stool. And a lot of times you have to figure out if you do have chronic constipation, like, are you a morning pooper or an evening pooper? So if you do best in the morning and you get your coffee and like that's a great stimulant, some people will actually use that as an advantage tool, go potty. If you just are stressed all day and you're like, oh, I can finally sit down at night, maybe at nights when you need to just let the system kind of relax. When you're on the potty, let's see, where did I put it? I think I put it on there. When you're sitting on the potty, if you do really low humming, or an ah, or an oh, those really low breath and note tones actually relax the pelvic floor. It's what we teach a lot of times. I had a friend come and see me. I'm gonna put y'all down to get ready for birth. So it's the same kind of thing. Like the pelvic floor has to relax when you're pushing a baby out or when you're pushing a bug movement out. So that's my other trick. Magnesium citrate, which is kind of what's in Miralax, but Miralax, I've been told, also has some other additives that can kind of bulk it up. So if you're not eating the right amount of insolubles or solubles, sometimes that's an issue. So Calm is the brand that's recommended among the PTs. It doesn't have some of those other additives, and we tell people to take 2 of those pills at night. If it's too soft the next day, then split it up. If you don't need it, you don't need it. You can sometimes wean off, but it's a really good way to kind of help just clean out the colon. What I found too, I take some of the Plexus products. That's what's in the BioCleanse, and there's another additive in there too. I can't remember what it is. But that helps, once again, stimulate that nervous system. If y'all are watching, say hi, please, because this system I cannot see who's watching. Some people will suggest up to 400. Well, each little pill is usually 400 milligrams. Some people will suggest even up to 4 of those. But like I said, that's a really good way if you just are on a trip and you feel stopped up, or you don't want to get stopped up. If you go camping, I tend to eat differently when I camp, and my belly kind of gets off. Otherwise, I usually don't have an issue. And then my last trick, I feel like there's something else with that. Obviously, y'all know the water. Like, water intake is huge, because if you don't have water in your diet, there's nothing to kind of help keep things loose enough to pass through. So that's probably the easiest trick to improve at the beginning. My last trick, when you are eating your meals, sit and eat. Don't hover. Don't feed your kids. Like, sit down, or at least 5. I mean, give yourself 15 minutes. Like, I notice a huge difference in the middle of the day. I blocked an hour now, and I give myself 45 minutes if I go work out after, where I just sit and I like mentally check out for a little bit, because your brain and your body needs that downtime to actually like figure out you're putting food in the system. And if you're constantly eating through the day, you're never giving your gut that information of, here's a bolus of food, you need to digest it and pass it through. Not that snacks are bad. I feel like that they're necessary, because I feel like a lot of us, me included, are under eating just because of life and because of stress, and just my hands are busy all day. So if I were to meet with my friend Grace, she'd probably slap my hands and say, Kel, eat more. But my recommendation is to sit down at least a couple of your meals, and then I usually say eat snacks through the day. But your body also needs a big enough amount of food for a meal that it knows the difference between a snack and a meal, so that you get that constant issue. If you have other issues, I've seen some where the bowels impact the pelvic floor. Impact meaning like not that they're impacted, that you're stuck, but that because there's so much pressure on the pelvic floor recoils, and we get some tone and issues. There's some tricks I can teach you there that's a little bit more personal, so I'd love to chat with you about that. Please text me or email or message me on here. There's some things you can try. There's some things we can talk about with prolapse if you've got erectocele, which is where that bowel tissue just gets a little soft generally after having a baby. And what that does is it kind of balloons up full of stool, and that can get really, really hard too. So for a lot of people, when you get that urge, don't hold it, like go when you feel like you gotta go, because if you are known to have a little prolapse down there, then that can fill up and harden worse, and it's just harder for your bowel to pass through the opening. So definitely longer than a 2-minute tip, but I wanted to give y'all a lot more to chew on today, and I just had a big conversation with a client and a patient about it that we've been working on for months. I feel like I just really, really want her to be successful, and I really want to give y'all some tips that are easy, that you don't necessarily have to go buy and be paying a lot of money. But these are some kind of generic starting points. I think that's all I got for y'all. If you are watching this live, say hi. If you're playing, if you're kind of catching the replay, just let me know. If there's other topics you'll want, let me know. I haven't been super active on here, mainly just because I've been busy with patients, which is awesome, but I want to help more people, and I really want people to understand that they're valuable. My t-shirt should be in soon, so my I Am a Priority shirt should be in with this week. So if you gave me an order, I'll send you an invoice soon, or I'll just text you and you can Venmo me that. And I think that's it. We'll talk to y'all soon. Love y'all. Bye.